This is the blatant violation of Article 227 of the Constitution and the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015. Article 227 of the Constitution, as read with the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015, provides that when a state organ contracts for services, such as procurement, should be done through a system that is fair, equitable, transparent, competitive, and cost-effective. The government should explain how Dubai Port World (FZE) was identified to take over our national assets and whether the contract meets the criteria of fairness, equity, transparency, competitiveness, and value for money. In Article 227 of the Constitution as read with the Public Procurement and Disposal Act. Additionally, government owes Kenyans answers to the following questions. Who owns Dubai Port World (FZE)? Is it a company owned by local senior state officials? How much taxpayers' money has been given to the company so far? Which other companies applied to do the job, if any? What is the value of the contract? And why were the provisions of Section 134 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act not complied with? Further, Kenyans must also know whether the procurement of the company was a government-to-government agreement, and if so, why Section 4(2) subsection F of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act did not apply. In this sinister scheme that contravenes the Public-Private Partnership Act, a superficial foreign entity will take charge of 1. Redevelopment of berths 11 to 14 and a special economic zone at the Mombasa port. 2. Equipping and operating the container terminal at the port of Lamu. 3. Development of a special economic zone next to the port of Lamu. 4. Development and operating cold chains and logistic parks at both Kisumu and Naivasha. In contention is not just that national assets are being disposed of sneakily, but also the illegality in the opaque and hurried nature of this transfer of national assets. Government cannot hide under the Public-Private Partnership Act. In the light of the foregoing, we wish to go on record and call out the President of Kenya on this matter. There's a famous saying, we all know that if it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then probably it is a duck.
Absolutely.
From the shortcuts we have exposed, the auction of our ports look like corruption. It is swimming like corruption. It is shouting like corruption. And it is certainly corruption. Kenyans are probably staring at the biggest corruption scandal ever. It is a clever machination to fleece Kenyans of billions of shillings before a new government takes over. In fact, the establishment of the Azimio political outfit was principally intended to perpetuate state capture and to privatize national strategic assets using offshore companies whose agents are in the top echelons of Azimio leadership.
Shame.
If government is humbled enough to come clean, the starting point should be to tell Kenyans who owns the contract company and what interests senior state officers have in the company. As patriotic Kenyans, we say no to any plan to defraud our people. God bless you, and God bless Kenya.
Mambo vipi wana Mutembei TV. Leo ni siku moja amazing, ni siku moja kubwa sana. Nimetembea maeneo fulani amazing sana, na na feel niko blessed sana siku ya leo kukuwa na bwana CEO mwenyewe. Yes, wana Mutembei, msiondoke mlipo, hakisha kwamba unaangalia video hadi mwisho, kwa sababu leo tumewaletea vitu moja mzuri sana, vitu legit. Bwana CEO.
Yes,
nimefurahi sana kuwa nawe karibu leo.
Asante Mutembei, nimefurahia pia.
Yes, unajua mara mingi nakusikia tu na sijai pata nafasi ya kupatana na wewe. Sasa leo na feel niko blessed sana kupatana na wewe. Maybe tukianza tu introduce, kuambia wa viewers wewe ni nani na labda ni kwa nini tuko na wewe leo siku ya leo hapa.
Asante Mutembei, majina yangu ni Zakaria Kariuki Dirango.
Yes.
Karibu sana, hapa ni Kamuru. Kabla hujafika Kamuru Shopping Center iko between Luai na Kamuru. Hii shamba iko mahali kunaitwa Kipawa. 100 meter kutoka Kangudo Road. Yes. Umejionea wewe mwenyewe. Kuna supermarket. Hii shamba ni next to high school. Yes. So karibu sana Mutembei.
Yes.
Yes.
Nimefurahi sana, kwanza hii yenye inakaa smart sana.
Very smart.
Siku ya leo nataka tueleze wa viewers tuko hapa kwa sababu gani?
Tunataka tuwaelezee ya kwamba Nairobi bado haijaisha. Nairobi bado kuna plot. Hizi plot ziko constituency ya Kasarani constituency.
Yes.
So tuko na plot hapa. Yes.
Nice. Tumekuwa tukiona kampuni mingi sana zikiuza mashamba. Maybe utofauti yako na kampuni zingine ni gani haswa Farvet?
Tofauti yetu na kampuni hizi zingine zote ni ya kwamba sisi tuko watu legit kabisa. Sisi tunauza shamba kabla hatujakuja kuziuzia customer. Tunafanya investigation, tunaangalia hii shamba iko namna gani. Na kama hii
dogo tu na kuna hiyo dream. Wewe kama bwana CEO, mtu kama huyo unamuelezaje? Afanyaje ili invest na wewe?
Sisi tumeangalia kila mtu, kuna wale hawana pesa. So